In the SEC East, Alabama trying to get near the top in the SEC West. And, of course, the Southeastern Conference Tournament in Atlanta just a couple of weeks away, and the NCAA tourney to follow. Both these teams are headed that way, Larry, but they're trying to secure their spots now, their seedings for that tournament.
Fred, the battle right now, as you look at Rick Pitino on his bench over there. By the way, he was struggling with his voice last week. I stopped into one of his practice sessions. He was wearing a microphone, and he was hooked up to Memorial Coliseum, which is where they practice. So all he had to do was whisper, and you could have heard him for 100 blocks.
Here's the guys he yells at as we check the field of starting lineups for Kentucky. Shepard and Delk in the backcourt. Roderick Rhodes up front. Walter McCarty, who's really come on as of late, averaging about 10 points and 5.5 rebounds a game. And Andre Riddick, the rejector, down low. For David Hobbs, Tide of Alabama, Orange and Griffin in the backcourt. Caffey, who had a big game over the weekend, and Faulkner on the front line, and Antonio McDyess is a great shot blocker, and his offense is coming around. Full house in Tuscaloosa, and we're underway. And it's Rhodes immediately going to the baseline where he's cut off at the pass. Riddick. The tip missed by McCarty. Third chance by Rhodes. Blocked out of there by Alabama.
Right, Alabama is the leading rebounding team in the Southeastern Conference. A little surprising to see the game start the way it did with Kentucky attacking that backboard. That's a positive note for the guys in blue.
Well, they also lead the SEC in block shots, and they proved that already down low as one of them was swatted out of there. They're averaging over 6 blocks a game.
Usually they've got 150 blocks as a team. Now 151 with Jamal Faulkner's block. Kentucky opens up in a 2-3 zone. Had a couple of zones going at them the last couple of weeks. Mississippi State and Florida, and not responded well.
Mississippi State beat them in Lexington. Florida had a big advantage in the first half before Kentucky came from behind. So the zone against Kentucky has worked the last couple of outings. We'll see if we see more of that from Alabama.
Interesting change here by Rick Pitino. Now out of the out-of-bounds play, do they go man-to-man? Yes.
Caffey lost the ball on the baseline. Fans still waiting for the first basket. Still waving the pom-poms and still on their feet as we're a minute into the game. Faulkner had it stripped by Rhodes.
Roderick Rhodes with a good defensive play. Tough pass. Good catch by Delk, and he lost it.
Turnover for turnover each way. Now full court pressure by Kentucky.
This is what the Cats are known for. They're known for their full court pressure. They like to come out and play a 94-foot game. And I want to tell you, Brad, for the games I've seen them play this year, I think their half-court defense has been equally as good.
Three-pointer. Still no score and a foul on McDyess as he was battling for the rebound.
If there's one criticism of the game that I've seen Antonio McDyess play this year is the fact that he gets himself in foul problems. And he's the type of player that needs to be on this court to help this Alabama team, because he is so critical to their inside front court operation.
Their top rebounder at over 9 a game.
Best in the league.
Live underneath as Delk was trying to post up Artie Griffin down low. Now Riddick with a hook. Alabama will push it. Three-pointer rattled out. There's the follow. Caffey makes sure. Rhodes on the slice.
Oh, what a nice play. Good cut across the lane, across the green, right across Faulkner's chest and up and in.
Well, after going about 1 minute and 45 seconds without a basket, we got 2 in a hurry.
And again, Kentucky back in that 2-3 zone.
Baseline jumper is blocked, but Riddick on the follow-through picked up the foul.
You know, one of the things I think is important as you get down into February and early March, you got to be not to be afraid to take chances. Rick Pitino is taking a chance tonight, I think, playing this zone defense, but he feels comfortable with that, feeling that maybe Alabama's not a good outside shooting team.
And if it does work, as Roy Rogers gets set to check in, if it does work, that gives them one more thing to work on come tournament time.
Well, the reputation of Alabama is strong front court, back court, maybe a little weak.
McDyess part of that front court, but he missed the free throw, averaging over 12 points. As Larry said, the top rebounder in the SEC at 9.3 per. And he had a huge tomahawk slam with about 2 minutes to go over the weekend in the win over Auburn, and that ended any of the Tigers' hopes for a comeback. They had put a little spurt on. Well, he missed both free throws, but the Tide will have another chance.
That's some of that good aggressive board work that Alabama's famous for, what they've been able to do this year. Good ball movement by the Tide.
Another 3 rattles out from Faulkner. McDyess blocked by Riddick.
Oh, what a block by Riddick. The second tomahawk was set to go, but they pulled it out of his hand. Riddick with a great block.
Andre Riddick, and this is a Lance Ito job. Motion denied. 27th block of the year for Andre Riddick. Orange kicks it on the baseline, and Faulkner with a move, and he draws a foul. Jeff Shepard picks up the foul, his first.
Well, Alabama's making a living on that free throw line right now. At least they've been there. Haven't been able to capitalize a whole lot, though.
Jamal Faulkner will go to the line.
By the way, I wanted to say you were some pretty prestigious company last night. I'm talking more about the guy with the hair than not.
President's got a lot of hair. Vitale has none of course. But, yeah, that was fun last night. You know, every 4 years you get a chance to try to help one of those guys get into office, but you don't every 4 years get a chance to talk to one at a basketball game.
I'm not so anxious to see the free throw shooting contest, but I'd like to see the jogging event.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he's taken me up on the offer, so Faulkner finally connects from the free throw line. Alabama by 1. Shepard on double team. Nice ball movement. Riddick kicks it out. McCarty, he can shoot out there. The rebound, Caffey. Faulkner cut off on the baseline, and Rogers will put it up. Rhodes the rebound. Boy, they're feeding the post. Riddick off the glass.
But you find it interesting they're going inside and challenging those shot blockers, particularly Rogers, who is the leading shot blocker actually on this Alabama team, even over McDyess.
Apparently Kentucky feels they're going to challenge those guys and see if they get some early foul trouble, because they have not been leery at all about packing it down low.
Interesting game attack by Kentucky. A 2-3 zone to shut down the inside play of the Alabama front court, and then attacking them on the defensive end.
Caffey shut off by Shepard, but the ball comes free to Faulkner.
I think Riddick got a little bit of piece of that ball that Faulkner tried to shoot.
Nice hook pass. Caffey in tight.
Nice ball handling that time. Good catch.
Faulkner with the assist. Alabama with the lead as Caffey has 4. There they go again down low. Riddick against Rogers. Wheels and comes up short. Faulkner will clear it off. Alabama by 1 and pushing it.
Watch the movement of the ball by Alabama. To look to the inside. They want Caffey if they can.
Orange for 3. Marvin Orange, his first bucket, and it's 8-4 Alabama.
Kentucky showing a lot of patience on offense so far.
Rhodes working against Faulkner. Had his shot blocked by Rogers.
Nothing new there. Roy Rogers with his 56th and 57th block already.
Caffey missed in tight, kept alive. Faulkner rattled one. And Rhodes with another rebound. 22nd timeout. Rick Pitino. Alabama out early, 8-4. The Tide of Alabama, the top team in the country defensively as far as opponents' field goal percentage, leading the NCAA. 37.2, Larry. That's pretty strong.
How about holding your opponents to 64 points a game? Leading rebounding team in the Southeastern Conference, and they average almost 6 block shots.
You mix all that together, if you add a little bit of offense, you got a pretty good team.
Well, you know, David Hobbs makes a great comment about block shots. He says, yes, we block a lot of shots. He says there are a lot of teams that get offensive rebounds on us because we go after the ball. If we miss it, then it leaves us wide open for the guy who's trying to block the shot for somebody to follow in behind and get an offensive rebound. But he said, I'll take the intimidation of the block shot anytime.
Antonio McDyess getting a breather. Rogers has his spot for Alabama. McCarty found himself a seam. Boy, you could see that one coming. It opened up. Not much of a crease, but McCarty saw it. Took his 6'9" frame right through it.
You know, Brad, we had a great angle on it. It almost looked like a hole opening for a running back, didn't it? The guy going right down the middle, went off center, and went straight to the basket.
And a chance for a three-point play.
There goes McCarty again. Look at that reverse dunk. Good play.
Rogers picked up the foul. And Walter McCarty steps up, 71% free throw shooter, averaging almost 10 points a game. Trying to cap a three-point play. Short on it. And Artie Griffin the rebound.
Well, they're trying to get the ball inside desperately. Cappy has to move Alloway away from the inside, and they go to Rogers.
Rogers straight over Riddick.
Now, that's something Kentucky does not expect to see a lot of tonight, and that's Rogers shooting from the free throw line. I think they'll take that one all night.
Rogers only averages 4 points a game. Has his first basket of the night. Delk. Tony short. Caffey will pull it down for Alabama. 10-6 tied. 14 minutes remaining first half.
Kentucky staying with that 2-3 zone. Watch Rogers in the middle for Alabama. Caffey down low.
And watch Eric Washington, who just checked in for three. Leading scorer comes off the bench for Alabama. Here's Rhodes on the left wing. Washington cut him off. Shepard with a drive. Jason Caffey another rebound. Orange threw it away. Second Alabama turnover, but they have jumped out in front. And with 13:29 to go in the half, lead by 4. Led throughout. We've had one tie, 10-6 right now. Brad Nessler and Larry Conley from Coleman Coliseum, Tuscaloosa. We talked about the defense at the beginning of the game, Larry, and right now they're playing good defense. Both offenses look a little rocky.
Yeah, I think they're a little tentative right now. Both clubs seem to be feeling each other out. I'm a little surprised Kentucky opened up in that 2-3 zone defense, and really they're attacking the inside play, the defensive play of one of the best defensive teams in the country. A little bit of a surprise, but a chance by Rick Pitino maybe to go out and maybe experiment a little bit here. I think he feels like he's got that Eastern Division wrapped up, and he'd like to win the SEC, but trying to find out what his club's made of tonight.
Already we've seen some of the shot blocking ability of both teams that we talked about too. Boy, Rogers has swatted a couple away, so is Andre Riddick. Kentucky with Shepard, McCarty, Riddick, Delk, and Rhodes on the floor. That's the starting group.
Half-court zone trap by Alabama.
Rhodes very deep on the baseline, and he paid the price as another shot's blocked. It's Rogers again. Possession arrow. We'll go to Alabama.
Look at the total opposite of what we expect from these two clubs tonight. We expected Kentucky with the pressure, three-quarter or half-court, and that time Alabama threw up a three-quarter court pressure trap. There's that full-court pressure. There it is.
Shepard.
Kentucky got the turn.
Shepard with a steal. McCarty working against Rogers.
Oh, what a move. Did he school Rogers?
Oh,
what a turn.
that was nice.
By the Birds. Turn.
They were playing that during the break. Did you hear that music? We got our musical accompaniment with us tonight. 10-8 Alabama. McDyess squares up against Riddick. Rogers missed the tip in. Boy, Rogers can get up, can't he?
Did you see Shepard in there? He was among the big ones. Great leaper.
Here he is on offense. On the drive, and he had it blocked by Rogers. Blocked! And another one, but they're going to give this one to Riddick. Boy, you know, not too many times we go into a game and say, we got some great shot blockers tonight. I'm glad we talked about it because they're swatting them like flies here in the first 7.5 minutes.
Hey, when you got swatters like this, you got to pay attention. Look at this. Rogers right there again. Now that one was goaltending. Rogers tried to get that one. Riddick will get credit for the basket. Shepard's going to think twice about going back in there again.
That has got to play on your mind when you go in there and you got a guy like Rogers who already has blocked 3 or 4 shots. Tied for the second time tonight. Even at 10. Whistle before the shot. Foul on Shepard. Be his second.
I think maybe Riddick got that. He got him on a push.
It is.
Got him on a shove.
That'll be Riddick's second. Riddick Walter comes out. Pope goes in. Nothing like taking a guy that's 6'9", 6'10" out, putting another one in.
Well, one of the things Kentucky's got great advantage of is their bench. So does Alabama. They played a lot of people.
Pass touched by Roderick Rhodes.
Brad, I expect to see fully 9 or 10 players from each club. Both of these teams love to play a lot of people. Kentucky has an interesting stat. They've got 9 players averaging 12 to 28 minutes.
McDyess, first field goal.
How do you block a shot that's going down?
He can definitely get up there.
McCarty wants to work on Caffey.
McCarty's feeling the offense tonight, isn't he?
Well, the thing about Kentucky, I talked about their depth. They really have a lot of guys that can score. Shepard, Delk, Rhodes. Tonight it's McCarty that's feeling it.
McCarty was 6. Alabama for the first time having a little trouble getting the ball in.
Alabama has the same sort of thing. They've got 4 or 5 guys who can throw up 20 to 25. Anytime you got that kind of lineup where you got 4 or 5 guys who are capable of scoring 20 to 25, it makes your offense that much more potent.
Shepard knocks it away from Washington. Washington's a guy that can definitely light it if he finds the zone. It's Griffin, Orange, Washington, Caffey, and McDyess. And this is Washington for 3. Kept alive by Griffin. He'll try one. Missed a couple of trays. And Kentucky with a chance to lead at the 11-minute mark if they score.
Alabama really starting to cool off. Nice pass by Rhodes.
McCarty used a little bit of everything tonight,
including his feet.
Yeah, he may have traveled there. At any rate, that was another good-looking move, and it's Kentucky by 2. Some ice flies onto the court. Alabama fans not crazy about the no traveling call with McCarty.
Well, BC played him tough for most of the game, but Connecticut pulling away. Ray Allen gets the assist on this one, but he's tied a career high with 31 points. Donnie Marshall knocks that one down. The Huskies up by 6 with 40 seconds to go. Brad and Larry.
All right, John, here Kentucky ranked 6th, leading Alabama ranked 20th, 14 to 12. Another number 1 bit the dust last night. Didn't take long for Kansas to find out life at the top isn't so easy, huh?
Well, anytime you go into Norman, you know it's going to be tough, and Roy Williams found that out last night. But it's a good Oklahoma team. They play pretty well all year long. But don't count Kansas out. Don't count them out. That's a good basketball team. Another one of those clubs that's got a lot of depth, talent at every position.
Ryan Passig has checked in for Alabama. A 3-guard look. It's Passig on a 3. Air ball. McCarty pulls it down. Walter,
look at that,
doing everything tonight. Delk fouled before the move.
Probably a pretty good move by Passig because Delk was on his way to the hoop. One of the things that for those around the people around the country who do not follow SEC basketball on a regular basis, they have a tournament at the end of the year, and right now they've got 3 teams in the Western Division that are ranked in the top 25, and one of those clubs is going to have to play Thursday and not get a bye.
Right. Mississippi State, Alabama, and Arkansas all in that grouping. There's Tony Delk with his first basket, and you wouldn't think it would come in that form as he drives and lays it off the glass. 4-point Kentucky lead. McDyess, can he run it down? Nope.
Marvin Orange looks over at David Hobbs sheepishly and says, well, I'm sorry about that. I think they got to go to the other end. It's got to be under Kentucky's basket because nobody touched it.
Bring it all the way down.
All the way down the other end.
John Clougherty points in that direction. Clougherty, Jim Burr, Gene Mondry are 3 officials tonight.
Good crew.
Yep.
Big game.
Alabama on a 10-2 run in the last 3:23.
Alabama's gone to a zone defense. It's like a 2-3, same as Kentucky was using early in this first half.
And Washington comes up with a steal. Nice move by Passig to save it to Caffey. And a foul on Shepard.
Good move by Shepard. He had to make that foul because Caffey was ready to take it in and lay it up. Rick Pitino not very happy with the pass that McCarty attempted to get into the wing.
Here's Rick with his voice back. I was going to say, I could hear him when he was out here yelling right in front of us.
Some of the players are happy that's happened.
Edwards is going to check in for Kentucky. Shepard comes out. We may not see much of Anthony Epps tonight. He and Jeff Shepard have kind of been sharing that point guard spot, and Kentucky's thinking about putting Roderick Rhodes at the 2 guard and playing Tony Delk at the point a little bit more tonight. So maybe we'll see some more different combinations from Kentucky as well.
There's a rare make by Jason Caffey.
And a lane violation.
I think maybe McDyess, realizing the history of Caffey's free throw shooting, was anticipating something.
Need a rebound, huh? McCarty for 3. Didn't get the roll. Pope got the board, though. And now McDyess will clear it out of there.
Kentucky retreating on defense very well, not allowing Alabama to get any cheap ones.
Keep waiting for Washington to warm up. On the baseline, McCarty took him the ball and everything else out of bounds. No foul, though.
Washington really lit up Arkansas and Fayetteville in that big win by Alabama. Go back and watch again. Was it a foul or not? All ball.
Walter gets a much-deserved rest. And Walker will check in for him. Antoine, the freshman out of Chicago.
Already I count 9 players Kentucky's played.
Exactly.
It really helps you, Brad, going down the stretch. If you've done that all year long, come early March, boy, you talk about paying benefits.
And Edwards plays great defense and passing threw it away. Over and back on Alabama. Nice defensive job by Edwards to force that turnover. There's the 12 minutes a game for 9 players and nobody over 28. That's mixing it pretty well. A lot of people would love to have that kind of depth or that kind of versatility that Rick Pitino has.
But I think the clubs will really suffer this time of the season. We get late February, early March, and those teams that really have played 5 or 6 guys all year long. You know, these guys, they've got fresh legs. I mean, they've been able to work out a lot. They've got quality people coming down in that 7th, 8th, and 9th spot. It's a big bonus.
Sure is. Delk, three-pointer. Three-pointers aren't falling for either team. Edwards had his hand on it, but Griffin came up with it and then walked. And he knows it.
You can't get up. If you're down, you cannot get up.
Only in boxing.
Yep. If you're on the mat. And sometimes you don't want to get up.
UConn, a winner over Boston College.
BC with a good effort tonight. They were leading that game at halftime.
Alabama jumped out to a 4-point lead in this one, but now it's Kentucky by 3. Alabama has struggled a little bit at home, which is really strange. 5-1 on the road in conference play, but 3-3 in their own building.
You know, it's kind of interesting as we'll see a foul right there on the inside. David Hobbs took his club and put him in a motel last night. Kind of give him a feel for being on the road.
Good idea. Now we can do something about the field goal shooting. On the road, 49%, at home, 43. Maybe skip a shoot around or 2. It's worth a try. There's the road record, 5-1, which is excellent. But that home mark, fans right now on the officiating, not thinking McDyess had picked up that foul. David Hobbs still wants to talk to Jim Burr about it a little bit. At any rate, Jared Prickett will go to the free throw line.
Again, those 2 fouls on McDyess. I doubt that we'll see him again. You know, a somewhat similar thing happened last week, Brad. We were doing the Arkansas game in here. He came out and got his 3rd foul immediately to start the 2nd half, and eventually fouled out of that game. And as I said earlier, this is a guy that cannot afford to be out of that Alabama lineup. David Hobbs needs him in there.
Jared Prickett got 1 of 2. And gives Kentucky again a 4-point cushion as we approach 8 minutes first half.
A little bit of a change now in their defensive look. Kentucky's going to a 1-3-1 trap. Delk on the point.
They speed into Faulkner. Harrison, who just checked in, gets the rebound for Kentucky. Here's a different looking team. Delk, Harrison, Walker, Pope, and Prickett. That's an entirely different five. Delk, nice feed in low to Prickett, but he lost the handle. Alabama can cut it to a basket if they score. And a catch pushed down low on Pope, who was trying to work Caffey out of the paint. Mark had a big game against Florida over the weekend. Career high 14 points, and that come from behind win. Carty's going to check back in. He's been the Kentucky offense tonight with 8 points with 7 minutes 27 seconds remaining first half, and Kentucky with a 4-point edge. Kentucky by 4 with 7:27 left in this Super Tuesday SEC battle, or the SEC tournament just around the corner at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Here's how the standings look. Kentucky alone on top in the East. But look at that West that Larry talked about. 3 top 20 clubs battling for the #1 spot there. Alabama a game out as we entered tonight's action.
And I think, Brad, everybody just naturally assumes at the beginning of the year that Arkansas was going to win that Western Division and really run away with the SEC. It's Kentucky right now that's on top, and Mississippi State making a serious challenge. Had a big win over Kentucky in Lexington last Tuesday. You and I sat there and watched it.
That's right. So far, poor field goal shooting by both clubs, but again, credit a lot of that to the shot blocking ability and the defense of these two teams. Washington had another 3 rattle out. Pope will clear it off for Kentucky. Delk ahead to McCarty. Triple team, score it anyway.
Oh, what a spin move. 3 guys around him, and he was still able to get it off the glass. Walter McCarty, first half star for the Blue.
And already, he has matched his season average. 10 for McCarty, and a 6-point lead is Kentucky's biggest so far.
Comes at half court, full court pressure. Now they'll drop back into their half court zone. Let's see which one they use. They go out of their half court trap. Now they go back to their 2-3 zone.
With Harrison and Delk out in front, Walker and McCarty on the wings, and Pope down in the middle.
They want to try to free Washington for a 3, but he's struggling with his
shooting. He really is. Faulkner short on the baseline. Tony Delk up high for the board. McCarty. Yeah, one too many moves there, I guess. Offensive foul on the spin. I still liked it.
I think Walter at his early age must have been on a merry-go-round a great deal, because he's made about 4 turns tonight. Every one of them, that little circle turn. That time he got it, the player control foul, and go back to Alabama. A lot of 360s tonight.
Yeah.
Kentucky challenging the inbound pass. Once it's there, then they're dropping back into their 2-3 zone. No pressure.
Caffey's been the leading scorer for Alabama so far with 5.
Still the zone. Orange look in the corner to Washington. Couldn't get it to him.
Orange will try 3. They can't find it from outside the arc.
They're having difficulty getting it inside.
Yep.
Chris Harrison had a terrific game against Florida the other day.
Career high.
Yeah.
Really helped to win that game.
That's what they need. Kentucky needs another shooter.
Walker. He's strong with a 3. McCarty the rebound. Kicks it out to Harrison. The triple there won't go.
Well, McCarty is in position for almost everything tonight. He got 2 rebounds in a row. The first one he kicked out to Harrison, then got it back, and Alabama slapped it out of bounds.
Walter with a 6th sense tonight about where the ball is or where it should go. Roderick Rhodes will check back in, and Walker will sit. Tony Delk wide open for 3. Got it. Can't leave him open.
Well, that would spell doom for the Tide if that guy starts to get hot from the outside. Kentucky has really turned it on offensively now. And they've shut down Alabama's offense. They're cold from the outside and ineffective inside.
Alabama led 10-6 early, and now it's Kentucky 22-13. Caffey double team, no place to go.
Good recovery that time by Delk.
Faulkner, he ran out of real estate. Jump ball. Possession arrow goes the other way to Kentucky. Coming up tomorrow, ACC Big East doubleheader on ESPN. We'll start it off 7 o'clock Eastern. Seton Hall coming off a big weekend win. They're hoping for the tournament bid against Miami. Then Florida State and Duke at 9 on the ACC. That's a doubleheader tomorrow right here on ESPN. Brad Nessler and Larry Conley from Tuscaloosa, where Kentucky is finding the open man, and that open man has been Walter McCarty.
Roderick Rhodes with a terrific penetration and a bounce pass, and McCarty is killing Alabama.
It's the Walter McCarty show so far. With 4:59 left in the half, Kentucky's running out to an 11-point advantage. Rhodes with a good look, and McCarty's going to always finish this one.
Well, what a nice drive that was. Anytime you get that deep into the defense, all you've got to do is look up. You're going to find somebody open. Walter McCarty giving us a little verbal approval, too.
He's such a nice blend of a guy that can handle the ball, shoot the three, drive as you see there. Defensively, these two teams really in the top of virtually every category in the SEC, and in Kentucky's, Alabama's case, leading the country in opponents' field goal percentage, as you see, at 37.2. But against the threes, they're 1 and 2 in the conference. I think we're seeing that tonight because we've seen only a 3 go in by each team.
The field goal percentage defense is going to go up dramatically. Good thing they don't have to play McCarty every night.
That's right. Look at the run in the last 8.5 minutes. All Wildcats.
Now the student body and these fans want something done. Zone defense has bothered Alabama. What an interesting gamble by Rick Pitino that's paying off so far.
Griffin got both men in the air. Somebody's got to be open. Nice job by Kentucky. Looked like Alabama would have a couple of open shots, and they didn't get them.
You know what they're doing? They're closing down very quickly when that ball comes from inside out. Harrison that time got quickly to Griffin on the outside. It would not allow him to take that shot. Forced him to drive in the turnover.
Rick Pitino liking what he sees. His team up 11 as we approach 4:20 left first half. Harrison, three-pointer. Whoa, way up in the air, and the rebound, it's Rhodes.
Ball being batted around like a volleyball. Alabama back in the zone defense now. They're in a 2-3.
Tony Delk trying to dish it to McCarty. Goes down hard, and Rhodes fouled from behind as he put up a shot. Caffey got him.
A lot of loose balls flying around, and the guys in the blue jerseys and pants are picking up most of them. Now Rick Pitino and decided to go with that big gamble, that zone defense, and some other things on the floor, and paying off big dividends.
Orange will sit as you saw Terrence Bethel come in to take his spot, and Roderick Rhodes to step up. 23 with 6 rebounds and 4 assists. As we told you, had a huge game against Florida. They needed him, and he responded.
There's a lot of discussion about Roderick Rhodes going out and becoming a pro this year. I know a lot of discussion around the state of Kentucky. My personal feeling is I think maybe he may be gone. I think he may be groomed and ready to move on to the next level.
4 for Roderick Rhodes, and the lead has ballooned to 13. 26-13 with 3:58 left in the half. 26-13 so far. It's the Walter McCarty show, Larry Conley.
He's done just about everything for these Kentucky Wildcats. Let's watch a little bit of his moves right here. Here's one that was early in the first half, a little turn. He went by Caffey. We'll go back and watch a second pirouette right here. And he's doing all these ballerina moves without a tutu. Watch the third one here. He goes strong that time. He got called for a player control foul. He can't believe it. He says, my moves are too good.
He's got 6 tutus for 12 points so far. He's really played well. Oh, and Alabama's in trouble. Just barely got the pass in and then knocked away by Harrison.
Brad, they make it so tough on you inbounding the ball. Watch how they overplay. See, Pope is denying the ball. You can see Harrison on Griffin. Now, they'll make a switch. Now, that time they got open. Good screen by Caffey.
8 minutes without a basket for the Tide. That's low Tide with 3:49 to go in the half. They need something here on offense. They've tried just about everybody launching it up there, and they just can't seem to find it.
Well, Terrence Bethel won't even do it. He gets it to McDyess.
Even with the slam. McCarty got a piece.
Oh, what a play.
Rhodes. Nice slice by Roderick Rhodes.
He got it right up against Faulkner. Body on body. Leaned into him and put it off the glass. A great defensive play by McCarty and a good one inside by Rhodes.
Wildcats by 15. And a hold on Pope on the full court pressure.
Well, we talked about Walter McCarty on the offensive end and how well he's doing putting the ball in the basket. Watch McDyess try to go strong to the basket. McCarty says, no, here's how you block a shot. Showing one of the leading shot blockers in the SEC.
Best I've seen Walter McCarty play for a half.
That's like I said, Brett. You know, they've got so many weapons. He's just one of many.
Foul was on Pope, and so Griffin will step up. Hardy is scoreless so far tonight.
Remember when he came out of high school, missing that first year, came in his second year last year and played so well. This year he has really blossomed. I think he's really bloomed into one of their better players. In fact, one of the better, I think, in the SEC.
He and Marvin Orange with a nice assist-to-turnover ratio in the backcourt for Alabama. And now the fans on their feet after a long time without any kind of scoring. Finally, Griffin with a free throw. Faulkner with a rebound. Roderick Rhodes hit the deck hard right in front of us, trying to scramble for that loose ball. McDyess. Well, that's kind of a different way to get a three-point play out of things. Hit a free throw, missed the second half, and then hit a deuce. 28-16.
Alabama in a man-to-man defense. They have abandoned their zone and gone out mano a mano. Nice pass.
Harrison, a triple.
Got it. Prickett with a good look.
Chris Harrison, 3 threes in that win over Florida on Saturday, and his first one of the night.
Once again, Kentucky drops back. Just the initial challenge on that inbound pass, and then right back to that 2-3 zone.
Kentucky 2 out of 9 from three-point range. Alabama only 1 of 10.
That's your story.
Yep. They'll try another one, and it wasn't even close.
Prickett wants it against McDyess. Does he want to take it in there?
I guess so. Knew what he was doing.
Boy, he just turned and went right at one of the best shot blockers in this league.
A little bit of a clinic going on right now here, Larry. 33-16.
Here comes the trap. Good job by Bethel to recognize it.
Griffin was wide open for 3 and buried it.
Well, they went to the trap that time, and Bethel got it to Griffin wide open on that right side. Faulkner with very little pressure on Rhodes. Alabama again back in man-to-man. Look at Delk take Griffin.
Tony with a one-hander. Thought I heard a whistle. I guess not. Must have come out of the crowd. And out of the crowd with a rebound comes McDyess. One of the few places in the country where we have the teams on our side of the floor. And Rick Pitino's right in front of us. You talk about a perfectionist. As well as his team's playing, he's got a look on his face like he's down 20.
That's the way he is. Expects perfection of himself and his players.
Under a minute in the half. Harrison had it partially blocked. And Bethel comes out of the pack on the run. Terrence got right to the basket and then almost lost the handle.
Nowhere to go. A lot of help there. Rhodes came to help.
Caffey indecisive and then waited and did draw a foul on Prickett. 34 seconds from halftime, and that will mean the Delta Faucet halftime report. Of course, John Saunders and Clark Kellogg will be along, scores and highlights from around the action tonight. Barn burner in the Big Ten that preceded us. An update on Kurt Thomas at TCU, and number 4 UConn rebounds after losing their top ranking and got a win in the Big East tonight. All that and more 34 seconds from now.
What a year Kurt Thomas is having down at TCU.
Yes. And to beat them, you got to score around 107.
Yeah.
I just picked the number out, but that's close.
Because he's going to be in the 30s somewhere.
Right.
Everybody else has got to kick in another 70.
Caffey He is not a good free throw shooter, and Larry kind of touched on that earlier. By 48% on the year coming in. Got it on that. Meantime, 6 for Jason.
Well, they can hold the ball now and take the last shot before the end of the half. Pitino giving instructions to Anthony Epps right now. The 11th player to play for Kentucky tonight. Orange looking for an opportunity. Just a crack. Like to get that steal. Epps is watching him very carefully.
They got the right side cleared out, and they're about ready to make their move now with 10 on the shot clock.
McCarty for Longwood. There's the cut.
Epps, the left hand. Did he walk? Yes. One of the rare turnovers first half for Kentucky. 2.5 seconds. Plenty of time for Alabama to get off a long one. Let's see if Artie Griffin takes it from midcourt. A little bit short. All Wildcats in the first half on this Super Tuesday edition from the SEC. At intermission, it's Kentucky 33, Crimson Tide of Alabama 20. The big night so far by Walter McCarty with a dozen of the 33 for the Wildcats.
It's been the defense of Kentucky that's really helped them. Watch the good help down inside as Mark Pope comes over right there. Artie Griffin trying to work his way through. He just simply traveled with the basketball. Kentucky again doing a good job with their defense. But it's also been on the offensive end. Roderick Rhodes with a drop-down pass. And there's 2 of Walter McCarty's first half points. He had a terrific first half and was really the offensive star for the Cats.
12 for McCarty. Kentucky only shooting 41%, but there's that 23% for Alabama. That's not going to help you, especially when you go 40% from the free throw line. Neither team shooting the 3 that well. The rebounds even. And the points off turnover in Alabama's favor. But it's been the Walter McCarty show. A dozen at intermission with 6 rebounds and some pretty sweet moves. And now Alabama's going to have to play from behind, trailing by 13 as we start the second half. Both teams looking for win number 19. And Rick Pitino's club, after that loss against Mississippi State and Lexington that we brought you last week, came from behind to beat Florida in Lexington Saturday, and now putting on a show here on the road.
Kentucky opens up with a 2-3 zone defense again. Alabama trying desperately to penetrate it or make threes.
Orange for 3. That's the way you want to start it off.
Well, that one helps them a little bit. Well, they were so poor from the outside. 2 of 13 from three-point range in that first half.
That immediately gets the crowd into it.
Nice screen by Shepard. The roll. Alabama's in a man-to-man defense.
Riddick on a slicer to Delk. Count it, and a chance for 3.
But he just went off of a nice pick high, rolled right down the lane, caught the ball, took the punishment from the backside. Watch this pass. Riddick with a good drop-down pass. Griffin trailing the play. Got Delk on the back, and he goes for an old-fashioned 3.
Tony can get up for 6'1" junior, and has had 2 field goals, much like that tonight, to go with 1 3-pointer. So 7 on the night.
You know, he and Shepard both can get up. They're 2 really explosive guards.
So whatever little swing that 3-pointer by Orange gave Alabama, Tony Delk just doused that. Kentucky goes back to that 2-3 zone. Faulkner lost the handle going in the paint. 9th Alabama turnover.
You know, really, it was pretty well played first half. They didn't turn the ball over either club very much. It was just the poor shooting.
Kentucky had only 5, Alabama only 8. And as Mark Kellogg said at halftime, Alabama had some open shots. They just didn't hit anything. And John sort of kiddingly said they do practice in this arena, don't they? They play well on the road. They don't play well at home. They've tried a little bit of everything. You were talking about what Coach Hobbs did with his club, putting him in a hotel to give them that road feeling. So far, that hasn't helped either.
Sometimes clubs do play a little better on the road. I mean, they get away from their home environment. They kind of like being out there, a little more freedom.
McCarty. McDyess pulls off the miss and a foul on Riddick. And that's 3 on Andre.
All right, that's something positive for Alabama to look at right now with McDyess on the inside, Riddick with 3 fouls. If McDyess can continue to go to the glass that way, and they can start to shoot the way Orange started off the second half for them, they can make a game of this. Kentucky again challenging that inbound pass.
McCarty. What a great pass from Tony Delk. Never came down with it. Look at this pressure. Now they can back off.
So much for a little momentum swing by Alabama.
Orange is handling the offense. They've got Caffey in the middle.
McDyess makes the catch and the basket.
That really looks good for Alabama, Brad. When you've got McDyess working the boards on both ends, offensively and defensively, then pretty good shape.
Nice feed. Delk down to McCarty on the baseline, but Walter lost the handle. Rhodes tips it away.
Good trail that time by Roderick Rhodes. He looked over in the right corner and saw passing wide open. Rhodes does that a lot. He'll trail a play on defense and come up with a steal, a slap away.
Rhodes always one of the steal leaders for Kentucky. Delk goes to the floor to pick up that one. McCarty walks with it, coming the other way. Eric Washington will check back in for Alabama. Normally instant offense, but not tonight. Scoreless. And he's the leading scorer for the Tide.
They got three-point shooters. Washington on the left, passing on the right. Caffey at the high post, and McDyess down low. Caffey comes out and handles it.
Orange thought about launching one from about 26 feet away. Washington will take a three. Everyone he's put up there has gone part of the way down and then come back out on it. Roderick Rhodes was going in, and Washington got to him.
Really, you can pick your poison right here. It was either McDyess.
It was McDyess.
Yeah.
Tell you what, if Alabama could have picked, they would have taken the other poison. That's three.
The problems McDyess has had all year long is trying to avoid foul trouble. He has spent a lot of time on that bench next to David Hobbs because he gets himself in a position where he can't afford to be out there. They don't want to lose him, and then when he goes back in, as he did against Arkansas, went back to the bench for the final time with his fifth foul.
He had the huge game against Kentucky last year, 22 points, 11 rebounds. This guy had 23 points last year in this matchup, 7 tonight for Roderick. Make it 8.
You know, he's only in his second year, and he's already had 22 career double-doubles.
It's pretty strong.
One of the quickest players to the basketball, off of the basket that I have seen all year, Brad. And it goes up on that rim. He is very quick to the hole.
Alabama's got to start to put a run together to have any chance in this thing. They're down 15 with 17 to go. And with Kentucky's defense, a streak is not the easiest thing in the world to accomplish. Orange three-pointer, almost banked it in. Tony Delk quick-handedly snatches down the rebound. Rhodes.
Not a good shot by Roderick Rhodes.
Hustle by Riddick. He and Caffey get tangled up right in front of the Kentucky bench. Rick Pitino helps up Andre Riddick and pats him on the backside, liking that hustle.
Nice effort.
The Alabama ball.
Yeah, good effort by both Caffey and Riddick that time. You know, Brad, there are a lot of things you can compensate for in this basketball game, but the one thing you cannot do without is good shooting. And Alabama is really struggling from the field.
They even mentioned in the paper today, and Coach Hobbs even talked about it, they are 1-3 on ESPN this year. He said, hopefully, Kentucky's defense and the fact that ESPN's here won't bother us tonight. I haven't heard that too many times from coaches. Well, it's bothering them right now. I think it's you, Conley. I'm not sure.
I think it's those guys in blue out there. Nice shot by McDyess.
Blame the Wildcats, not us, huh?
Rhodes. Whoa!
Well, was that quick? Alabama never saw it coming. That was a blitzkrieg down the left side.
Good look by Caffey.
McDyess waiting for Riddick and Rhodes, and both of them get a piece of him.
See, if Caffey will turn around and look, he's going to find McDyess wide open down there. And if he doesn't, he's going to have a wide open 8-foot jump shot.
That's a 4th foul on Riddick with 15:43 to play. So that could help the cause a little bit for Alabama. But with Kentucky playing like Roderick Rhodes is playing right here, flying out to a 15-point advantage. Brad Nessler and Larry Conley in Tuscaloosa. Super Tuesday in this SEC matchup. Kentucky 42-27. They led by 13 at halftime. And Kentucky's come out in the second half to go 3 for 5 from the field. Alabama starting to improve, but they're going to need a lot of improvement. And Roderick Rhodes just emphatically capped off a drive by Kentucky with that slam to put them back up 15.
Walter McCarty having an excellent first half with those 12 first-half points. He's playing good defense on Caffey to start the second half.
Orange, Faulkner, McDyess, Caffey, and Passing on the floor for Alabama.
Kentucky came out of that huddle. Now they've gone man-to-man.
McDyess over Pope. Passing will keep it alive. Orange cut off on the baseline. Got a pass to Passing and knocked out of there by McCarty. Shepard on the fly. And he had it blocked by McDyess.
No numbers for Alabama. Orange is going to pull it back and take a look. Interesting change in defense here for Kentucky.
That one goes up and in. Give it to Faulkner.
Things were going so well with that zone defense for Kentucky. I wonder if Rick Pitino in this 22nd timeout might not discuss going back to it again.
22nd timeout gives us a chance to tell you we got more college basketball coming up on our 3 for Thursday. Starting off in the Southwest Conference. You're going to be in that one, right?
I'll be in Loving.
Texas Tech and the Longhorns will have at it. Then we'll move to UMass and Temple. And the Atlantic 10 at 9:30. Then following Sports Center, Pac-10 action. Second-ranked UCLA take on the Bears of California.
Maybe the Bruins can jump up to that #1 position to hold on to it. Nobody else seems to want it.
I don't know if they want it, but nobody can keep it. That's for sure.
Watch again. Watch this great block by McDyess right here. He and Rogers, two of the leading shot blockers in the Southeastern Conference. It's the second time Shepard's been blocked tonight.
And Shepard can get up. That's not the problem.
Just he's going up and get some guys who get up a little bit higher.
Exactly.
Both teams now playing man-to-man defense. Alabama started this second half in a man-to-man. Kentucky went out of their zone and went MTM that last trip.
Carly on top. 8 on the shot clock. Delk trying to post up Passing, and it worked.
I think Delk tasted that one. Watch him work on Passing right here. He's trying to post him up. Watch him battle. I love to see guards go in and post up each other in the battle. These aren't 6'8", 6'10 guys, 240, 250. These are guards going at each other.
Passing will sit after the foul. The shot goes in by Delk. Tony with 10. Things getting rough for David Hobbs right now as his team is trailing 44-29.
Right, see, that's what I'm talking about. They've got so many weapons. You get McCarty with 14 in or 12 in the first half. And already Delk with 10, 5 in the first, 5 in the second.
Yeah, Kentucky doesn't have like a superstar scorer as Delk, their leading scorer at 16.5 a game. Faulkner for 3, got it. Cuts it to a dozen.
Half-court trap by Alabama. Watch Delk go in the middle. McCarty can shoot that.
McDyess clears a miss. Alabama can get it to 10. Caffey. McDyess got the rebound. Somehow missed in close. He worked so hard for the board, he kind of lost track of where he was underneath.
I would say he is so aggressive when he goes to that glass, McDyess. It's just almost impossible to deny him. Watch how he works this glass. Comes back inside, tries to go up with it. Well, he was wide open, too. All he had to do, I don't know why he didn't dunk it.
Faulkner, 3. Shepard and Griffin both went up, and Shepard won that as it goes off Griffin, out of bounds. Nice look into Pope from Prickett.
Nice cut. Go to the open spot. We're going to get trapped like that. Just simply go to the open spot, and Kentucky's got another turnover.
Turnover 12 suffered by Alabama. Timeout. Crimson Tide, and they trail by 14 with 12 minutes and 57 seconds left in the ball game. Kentucky by 14 and under 13 to play from Tuscaloosa. Alabama jumped out to a 10-6 lead, had the crowd into it early, and Kentucky took over from that point and have not looked back.
Alabama back into a zone defense. Kentucky will try to work the perimeter. Rhodes is slowed in the middle, and Pope's handling it now.
Delk leaves it for Prickett. Missed the reverse layup, but he got it back. Rhodes.
Oh, what a nice tip by Pope. What great timing.
Biggest lead of the second half for Kentucky.
Yeah, Cats dropped back into that zone defense. They came out man-to-man just for a little while. Now they're back into that 2-3. It's a defense you don't want to depend on entirely, Brad. You want to depend on your man-to-man because that's really your bread-and-butter defense. Right now, they're having so much success against this Alabama team and their poor shooting. I believe I'd stay in it for a while.
McDyess, baseline jumper's good.
He's been the one bright star for Alabama tonight.
10 points for Antonio McDyess.
He's probably working on another double-double.
10 of them this year. Delk around a pick for 3. And it's Faulkner up high for the rebound. Faulkner three-pointer. They are only hit 4 of those tonight, and they have tried a bunch. 4 for 19 from three-point range. They might try another one right here.
Well, look how quickly Kentucky closes down on those shooters.
Orange, nice dish to Caffey, and Rhodes with a foul from behind.
Every time Alabama gets the basketball on the perimeter, they get set to shoot. There's a guy in a blue jersey running at him.
Comes so fast.
Yeah, they're inside out, very quick on defense. One of the things you like to have is good, quick athletes on defense.
You know, that's one thing Kentucky did not do well last week against Mississippi State, and it cost them dearly. They gave up the 3 to the Bulldogs, and you can tell they worked on that in the last week.
You got a guy like Dampier who plays the center for Mississippi State, throwing that ball back out. He's such a threat inside. You've got to go down and double or triple him. Mississippi State's got some pretty good shooters out there, too.
I thought you were going to say with a guy like Pitino coaching there, that won't happen 2 games in a row. Playing bad perimeter defense. No, it hasn't. Jason struggling from the free throw line on the year and on the night. McCarty will check back in, and Roderick Rhodes will get a breather. Rhodes sits down with 10. McCarty's got 14. Delk's got 10. Nice balance by Pitino's Cats. Foul at that time. 7 for Caffey. But the lead remains 13. And Alabama needs some defensive stops. They need their offense to find itself somehow.
Watch how this club screens. Find somebody to screen. Look at Prickett with a nice move.
Really nice move by Prickett. There was not much of a seam there, but he took what he had and got it off the glass. I would love to know the variations of lineup, how many different lineups Kentucky's had on the floor tonight. Right now, defensively, it's Shepard, Prickett, Pope, McCarty, and Harrison, and that's another different look. You know, when you got a lead, you can experiment a little bit, too, and keep everybody fresh. Faulkner on the baseline. Foul before the move. It'll be on McCarty. 2 on Walter. Tony Delk didn't get too much of a breather. He's going to check back in for the Wildcats.
It's always nice being next to the visitors bench here, isn't it?
I think you should watch the back screen on the inbounds pass. I think that's what Rick was saying into Larry's mic.
Cappy was trying to work on Prickett inside.
Prickett doing a good job of fronting him.
Orange didn't have enough spacing. You need to get a little more room between he and Cappy.
Cappy double teamed, and Prickett just took it away from him. Harrison pulls up three-pointer, got it. Didn't even move the net.
Where's Chris Harrison come from? Senior year, and all of a sudden this guy has turned into a player.
Had a broken bone in his right hand early in the season and had his cast removed about Thanksgiving time. Has just started to play himself into the lineup, and he's probably going to stay there some now. 6 points for the night on a couple of threes.
Played well against Florida and is having another good evening here against Alabama.
18-point Kentucky advantage. Rogers trying to lob it low to Caffey, and this time Prickett undercut it.
You know, every time Alabama gets the ball in the high post like that against Kentucky's zone, if they'll look inside, they'll find the opening. Caffey's been open down there, and when he's had the ball at the free throw line, the other guy's been open. It's either McDyess or Rogers.
Alabama with Orange, Faulkner, McDyess, Griffin, and Rogers.
Not enough room. Rogers has to get away. Look at Pope keeping him out.
Faulkner double team. Boy, they're helping well on defense.
Yeah, that was a bad pass. He threw it at his feet. Got to get the ball up.
Baseline blocked. Rogers got that one. We've had more blocks in this basketball game than Alabama and Kentucky did the last time they played football, I think. Faulkner hit a triple. 9 for the game. Big pile up underneath. A whistle and a foul.
Prickett took a spill. I thought Marvin Orange is underneath there. I thought Pope was going to step on Prickett's head.
Artie Griffin is the guy that picks up the foul. The timeout taken by Alabama.
The 22nd timeout.
22nder with 8:56 left in the ball game. 53-38 our score. Coming up on ESPN2 NHL action Wednesday at 8:30. San Jose Sharks and the St. Louis Blues will have at it. And then Thursday at 8:30, the Red Wings visit the Chicago Blackhawks. Fire on ice coming your way on the Deuce tomorrow and Thursday. Nice to see hockey back in action. Wish we could say the same about baseball.
Look at this work inside by Prickett on Caffey. Denying the basketball fronting. Good help. Left this man knew exactly when to go stop that guy on the baseline. Then he goes back and starts playing Caffey again. That's great defense. That is excellent defense by Prickett. He did a couple of things there. He was guarding his man, left his man, knew when to go double up when the guy made the baseline move, then came back to his man when he got the ball.
Smart player and executed it perfectly. Pope.
That's good training.
Pope with 5 all this half. Coming off a career-high game of 14 in the win over Florida.
You know, Brad, that's something you just don't do instinctively. That's taught to you. And that's a great teaching point right there, I think, by Rick Pitino, particularly on the defensive end.
Mark Pope with 6. Full court pressure with a 17-point lead. Kentucky's not going to let Alabama up off the canvas. They can help it. Washington, three-pointer. How many times has he had that ball go in, around, and out?
He has been all over the iron tonight.
Washington scoring 14 a game and has nothing to show for it tonight in the book.
Now he's having to guard Walter McCarty. Prickett, McDyess is in there against him.
McCarty around a screen, three-pointer. That's not a bad shot, though. McCarty can hit those.
Nice block out by Rogers that time on Pope. Well, if Alabama's going to make any kind of run, they need to start something going here.
Might have better get the engine running now. It's going to be too late. We're under 8 minutes. Try to pack it in low, and McDyess makes a nice catch and a nice turnaround move.
That's a tough shot, too, falling away on the baseline.
A dozen for Antonio McDyess. But the lead remains 15 for Kentucky. Prickett blocked, but a foul. Either McDyess or Rogers. And Burr will let us know it will be McDyess. And that's 4.
There's no fear in that guy. He went up against both McDyess and Rogers in there and went straight to the basket. Said, block me if you can.
Harrison sits. Shepard back in. McDyess with 4. If he goes, you kind of wonder if Alabama's chances follow him to the bench.
Prickett struggles from the line much like Caffey does. Two good inside players that kind of lose their touch, their concentration when they hit the strike.
Prickett, a 51% field goal shooter, a 58% free throw shooter, and 1 for 3 tonight in that category. Drains the second with 7 minutes and 34 seconds to play in this one. Antonio McDyess on the bench with 4 and his team trailing by 16. Well, a night to mug for the cameras, but not a great night for their basketball team. 56-40. Kentucky leads Alabama here at Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa, where the Tide in danger of falling to 3-4 on their home court. Brad Nessler and Larry Conley with you on Super Tuesday here in the SEC. 7:34 to play. And Antonio McDyess, not only leading Alabama in scoring, but rebounding as well, is on the bench with 4 fouls. Doesn't bode well for an Alabama comeback, but let's see what they've got.
Well, we got a new point guard, Whitfield, in there.
Caffey against Pope. He'll take the baseline move, and Delk way up there for the rebound. Tony with the outlet. He's got McCarty on the run. He made the catch, and he drew the foul. Nope, he walked with it.
Yeah, Gene Maggio made a nice call right there. He took about 3 or 4 running steps. The foul occurred after the walk.
Whitfield working against Shepard. Here's a long 3 by Griffin. Already second of the night.
One of the few times Kentucky's not been able to get to the shooter tonight. Shepard was close, but not close enough.
56-43. Pope's wide open, and he walked with it. Maybe too wide open.
Rick Pitino doesn't like what he's seen. He's going to take a timeout. Well, he's not going to let this one get away, is he?
I guess not. Didn't take him long to sit him down. With 6 minutes, 42 seconds remaining in the game, we'll take a timeout as well.
Following Alabama and Kentucky at SportsCenter, Terrell Brandon and the Cavs trying to take it to the Knicks. Bernie Bickerstaff is back at the helm. And could the Rangers hold on to first, or would they fall down to the Panthers? Right now, let's take it back to Brad and Larry, SportsCenter after the game.
All right, John, here at Kentucky by 13, 6:42 to play in this one. Alabama could use some offense. And all night long, they've been looking for it. Maybe this guy could throw a couple touchdown passes. Alabama quarterback Jay Barker with his fiancee Amy, who was given tonight the award for the SEC Player of the Year. 35-2-1 as a starting quarterback, their career passing leader for the Tide. When you consider the likes of Stablers and Namath and all that, pretty impressive group to be atop that list. And also he got a little bit choked up right after he gets that honor, because as you probably know, his dad passed away recently, and we saw him look at the award, look at the camera and say, "This is for my dad," and then he kind of pointed to the rafters here at Coleman Coliseum. Was a touching moment. About the only bright spot moment for the Alabama fans tonight, I'm afraid.
Pretty nice move by Rhodes down the lane that time. Alabama a little relaxed, maybe a little asleep on defense.
Here comes Antonio McDyess. If the move's going to be made, it's going to have to happen now. With 6:22 left, he's got 4 fouls, remember. But you got to play him now and see what happens.
Yeah, Brad, Roderick Rhodes is one of those players, having watched him play now for 3 complete years at the University of Kentucky. I have seen him make progress and get better with each succeeding year. One of the things I've watching him play, he always looks like he's a little out of kilter. I mean, like things don't really work. But at the end of the evening, he's always got 15 or 16 points. He's always got 7 or 8 rebounds. He's got 4 or 5 assists. I think he's a really complete player. That's why I think his game at the next level is going to be so good.
I'll tell you the truth. I thought he played maybe one of the best games I've seen him play in that loss to Mississippi State last week. He was all over the place, played great defense.
And he played a terrific game against Florida in the second half this past weekend, too, as did Tony Delk.
Rhodes picks up the foul. 6:11 to go. A 15-point Kentucky lead. Caffey triple team. That's been the problem all night inside when Alabama's packed it down in there. So, although Caffey did draw a foul, still he finds 3 guys draped all over it.
Entire coaching staff here at the University of Kentucky to our right saying just stand your ground, stand straight. You're going to send somebody to the line on this Alabama team, though. This is the guy you want to send.
That's true.
Brad, you and I have been traveling a lot around the country and watching a lot of leagues and a lot of teams play. I think the 4 clubs, and I think there are 4 teams that they're going to be a lock to get into the NCAA tournament out of this league. Obviously, Kentucky, Arkansas, and I think Alabama, Mississippi State are the other ones. I think on the bubble still are Georgia and Florida. They have to be playing tomorrow night down in Gainesville.
That will be huge for both of them. And Florida's got Arkansas down in Gainesville next week.
But I think this league is going to represent itself well in the NCAA tournament. You know, I was looking around the various conferences around the country. I really don't see very many conferences sending more than 5 clubs out of each league. I'd be surprised if anybody sends 6.
Rhodes fouled en route by Griffin. We talked about the standings in the SEC coming into the night. Kentucky alone on top with Florida #2 in the East. And then they see Georgia and Vandy there. Georgia, they can stay above that 500 mark in the conference and maybe get up in the 18-win category. Hugh Durham might have the dogs in, but that's a tough road ahead yet. And there you see Mississippi State, Arkansas, and Alabama bunched together. And Alabama obviously was hoping to make the move tonight to get to within a half game of the top spot. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Rhodes with 13 tonight.
You know, I look at the ACC. The Atlantic Coast Conference has got 4 solid clubs, too. North Carolina, Maryland, Wake Forest, Virginia, I think are locks. Right now, Georgia Tech's one of those clubs that's on the bubble, and they play Virginia tomorrow.
That's right. Rhodes has not missed at the line tonight. Roderick 8 for 8 from the free throw line. 15-point lead with 5.5 now left in the ballgame. Whitfield, he's going to try a triple. Came off to him again. McDyess on the baseline. That's been the kind of night it has been for Alabama. Off Caffey, out of bounds to Kentucky.
I'll tell you one thing, John Clodberty had a good view of it. It almost got him on the coconut. Kentucky showing a lot of patience on offense. They run their plays well.
Tony Delk on a flyer.
So we talked about McCarty in the first half, his offensive capability. Now Delk picking it up in the second half.
Well, McCarty's only had 2 points in the second half, but they have not needed his game with Tony reeling in the slack. Passing for 3, and he got it. His first basket.
Alabama's going to need a lot more of those. Look at Shepard push. Good idea. Pull it back out. Run your plays. Little Rose with a good move.
Off the glass. Sweet move by Roderick Rhodes.
They're getting inside this Alabama defense, and they're getting right into the heart of it with easy shots.
Rhodes leads everyone with 16. Whitfield. McDyess with his 11th rebound. Griffin. Well, they're putting it up there, but McCarty drags this one down for Kentucky.
You know, there's Rhodes, 16 points again. You know, we talked about his ability to just show up and get his 15 to 18, his 7 or 8 rebounds. He's done it again tonight.
Taking passing to the paint and leaving it off for Pope, but McDyess picks up the loose ball. Well, good throw by Whitfield, but Shepard was there to intercept.
I think Rhodes might have hurt himself.
Comes up limping a little bit. Timeout for Kentucky. 3:40 left in the ball game. Timeout with 3:40 to go, and Kentucky in control.
ESPN's NCAA basketball, brought to you by the Pepsi-Cola Company, who reminds you that nothing else is a Pepsi. By Chrysler Plymouth and your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers. And by Castrol Syntec, full synthetic motor oil that protects in ways other oils can't.
.340 left in the game, and Kentucky in command, 64-48. Alabama could use a guy like this to put it in from downtown. The Vice President of Basketball Operations for the Toronto Raptors, Isaiah Thomas. Zeke out scouting a little bit tonight.
Zeke could shoot it pretty well.
I think so. I was with the player personnel guy for the Raptors, Bob Zeppolato, last night. So that new franchise has people all over the country looking at not just senior talent, I'm afraid, but possible guys that could come out early. There's a lot of them. You might see 4 of the top 5 picks be underclassmen this year, depending on who comes out, who doesn't. Hasek with a foul.
And the reason is there's been a lot of discussion, as I understand it, about a salary cap potentially being placed on rookies going into the NBA, whether it's next year or the year after. I don't know when that's going to happen, but a lot of players looking at that right now, saying, you know, what do we do? As we look at Roderick Rhodes to see what his injuries. It might be his thigh or back of the knee.
Maybe
his thighs are
maybe he's cramping up. They're working on both legs, it looks like. Caffey wheels on Prickett.
One of the few times Caffey's been able to get anything done down inside. He actually had a one-on-one move that time. Didn't get the double or triple team like he's been getting from the blue shirts. Easy shot on the baseline.
14-point lead with 3 minutes to play. Tony Delk, one-hander.
A little drive and a fade back.
Blasted in for his 13th point. McDyess faces up with Pope. Pope cuts him off on the baseline. Faulkner. Kept alive by passing. What kind of night it's been for Alabama. 2 or 3 shots, none of them go. Alabama's taken 26 3-point shots, and they have hit only 7.
Shepard trying to shake Whitfield down in the corner. But I'll tell you another league that's been a little bit of a surprise tonight when we talk about good leagues around the country. The Pac-10 has got a good league this year. And I thought Arizona and UCLA were going to dominate that league, but Arizona State and Stanford have really come on and played very, very well out there, as has Oregon.
It'll be as interesting as ever, if not more so, come tournament time. Roderick Rhodes is shaking off whatever the problem was. It appeared to be leg cramps, and he's back on the floor. Jeff Shepard's first point of the night. So the point guard spot has not put many points up for Kentucky, but they've played good defense. You know, you think about the point guards Rick Pitino's had while he's been at Kentucky. Sean Woods was number 3 in career assists, and then Travis Ford for only 2 years, but he had well over 400 assists. They could always count on a guy knowing where to dish, and a lot of people think that that is maybe the missing ingredient if Kentucky has something missing, but they seem to make up for it by having so many players that can be so versatile.
Sheppard, oh, he almost got one. I'm going to tell you, he was one step inside the free throw line, and he went big.
Well, he can definitely get up there. He's a great track star at McIntosh High School in Peachtree City, Georgia. Watch this one.
Last time I saw anything fly this high, it had a flight attendant on it. Look at this. I mean, he is up.
Rex Chapman was his hero as he was growing up, and he plays somewhat like Rex does. He missed the jam, but he'll go to the line, and McDicey's gone. Fouls out with 12 points and 11 rebounds. Coffee, tea, juices, or you can purchase a cocktail, huh, Larry? It was good.
He hung around for a while up there, too.
Yeah, he did.
Well, Antonio McDyess fouls out of another basketball game. Tough for Alabama. They really need him in that lineup. Isn't it funny how they play? I mean, here they are. They win the games on the road, but they can't win at home.
And they hate ESPN now.
Yeah.
They're going to go to 1 and 4 on ESPN. And tomorrow, Seton Hall of Miami will start things off on our double dip. Florida State and Duke in the ACC will follow at 9.
A nice crowd last night for that Georgetown-Villanova game.
Yes, indeed. Almost 18,000. And the top fan in the country, if you missed it, President Clinton was there last night.
It's always interesting to me that the presidents of the United States and the sports they kind of adopt that they like. I remember Richard Nixon was a big football fan.
Yeah, loved George Allen and those guys.
George Bush loved baseball. And we've got a man in here now who likes college basketball.
He watches a lot of SEC hoops because Arkansas is his favorite team, and Georgetown is probably in his top 2 or 3, being a Hoya alum. We're under 2 minutes. Kentucky will try to spread it out, use a little bit of clock here, and go back to Lexington tonight, a happy bunch, because they will go to 19 and 4 and 11 and 2 in conference play. And they're going to be 5 and 1 on the road in the SEC when this one's over.
Yeah, they've got a couple of road games left. They've got Vanderbilt on the road at Saturday, and then next Wednesday at Georgia. 2 games that I think they fully expect to win, but always tough on the road. And then they finish up with LSU at home.
Jeff Sheppard's had 6 of the last 8 points for Kentucky. Down near a minute. Faulkner leaves it down to Caffey on the baseline. And McCarty will pick up the foul. The free throws in this half, Kentucky has really added to their lead with a 13 of 15 addition from the stripe.
Yeah, I talked to Rick Pitino this afternoon, did a small interview with him. I was asking him about traveling on the road. And they tried something new today. They actually went through their walk-around at home in Lexington this morning and worked on their game plan for tonight up there. Then flew down here and got in here about 1 o'clock this afternoon ready to play this game. This might be a trend, you know. Maybe not to come in the night before. Come in day of game, particularly when you're playing the late game on Tuesday.
It's the same approach I use.
Only thing is, these guys get some sleep. You don't get any.
50 seconds left.
Nice job by Faulkner to shut Rose down. It goes right back, and Rogers catches it. That might have been goaltending.
That's what the Kentucky bench wanted. Faulkner got his own rebound. Did he step on the baseline? Yes. Well, if the SEC tournament got underway right now, here is how it would look. The bracketing obviously does not necessarily have East versus West in every category. And boy, look at that Kentucky-Arkansas bracket staring you in the face on one side if the season were over today. And look at Alabama, what they would have to go through. Florida and Mississippi State, somebody. That's a tough haul.
Rod Rhodes to the bench with another good evening.
This is going to be Alabama's lowest output of the season. Their previous low was 58 against Georgia, and they've got only 52 now, and they may not see the ball again.
Big win for Kentucky. Start the 3-game road trip, and one better way to do it than go into Tuscaloosa and pull out a win against a very good Alabama team.
Prickett inside. Wave it off. It's all over. It was really all over from about the point when it was 19-13 because Kentucky just kept stretching out the lead, and they go on to win it by 20 thanks to McCarty, who had a big first half, ended up with 14. Rhodes and Delk picked up